Listen, not tomorrow, not next year, not when life finally feels ready. Listen now. Because time is not waiting for your confidence to show up. Another year doesn't disappear suddenly. It leaks away quietly while you're busy surviving instead of living. While you're replaying old pain, postponing brave decisions, and telling yourself one day life is moving forward without asking for permission. This is not a warning meant to scare you, it's a wake-up call meant to save you. If you're breathing, you still have purpose. If your heart is still beating, your story is unfinished. You are not late, you are just distracted. Distracted by fear dressed as comfort, distracted by excuses that sound logical, distracted by the belief that your struggles disqualify you. They don't. They shape you. And today, before another year slips through your fingers, you choose whether you remain stuck in preparation mode or finally step into transformation. This speech is for the ones who feel tired but hopeful, broken but breathing, delayed but not defeated. This is for you because wasting another year is not about age or failure. It's about ignoring the call inside you that keeps saying you are meant for more. Pain is not a punishment, it's a teacher. Pain often feels like proof that life has been unfair to you, that you were singled out for suffering while others moved ahead with ease. But pain is not a sentence. It is a signal. It arrives not to break you, but to wake you. Every struggle you have faced carried a lesson meant to strengthen your spirit, sharpen your awareness, and redirect your path. The tragedy is not pain itself. The tragedy is when pain is ignored, avoided, or allowed to turn into bitterness. When you refuse to face your pain, you unknowingly repeat it. You relive the same patterns, attract the same wounds, and call it bad luck. But life is trying to teach you something you haven't yet learned. Pain demands reflection, not denial. The moment you stop asking, why is this happening to me? And start asking, what is this trying to teach me? Your healing begins. Awareness turns wounds into wisdom. Pain also strips away illusions. It shows you who truly matters, what truly lasts, and what no longer deserves your energy. It removes the masks, the false attachments, and the versions of you that were built to survive, not to thrive. Though painful, this stripping is necessary. You cannot grow into your higher self while holding on to what keeps you small. Pain clears space for transformation. Many people waste years running from their pain, numbing it with distractions, busyness, or silence. But unhealed pain doesn't disappear, it waits. It waits in your reactions, your fears, your self-doubt. Healing is not weakness, it is courage. It takes bravery to sit with your hurt, to feel it fully, and to choose growth instead of resentment. Your pain does not define you, but your response to it does. When you allow pain to teach, instead of harden you, it becomes a bridge, not a barrier. It becomes the reason you are wiser, stronger, and more compassionate than before. The year you stop running from your pain is the year your life finally moves forward. Discipline will take you where motivation can't. Motivation is powerful, but it is unreliable. It comes in waves, rises with emotion, and disappears the moment life becomes heavy. If your growth depends on motivation, your progress will always be temporary. Discipline, on the other hand, stays when excitement fades. Discipline is the quiet promise you keep to yourself, even on days when you feel tired, uninspired, or unseen. Discipline does not feel glamorous. It does not announce itself. It shows up in small, repeated actions, waking up when it's hard, continuing when no one is watching, choosing consistency over comfort. These choices may feel insignificant in the moment, but they compound over time. This is how ordinary days turn into extraordinary lives. Many people waste years waiting to feel like it. They confuse emotions with commitment. But growth is not emotional, it is intentional. Discipline builds confidence because every time you keep a promise to yourself, you prove that you can be trusted. That trust changes how you see yourself. You stop doubting your ability to follow through, and your self-respect begins to rise. Discipline also protects you from regret. It keeps you moving when excuses sound convincing. It keeps you grounded when distractions are loud. You don't need extreme routines. You need honest consistency. Even slow progress is progress when it is steady. The life you admire was not built on motivation alone. It was built on days when quitting felt easier, but discipline said no. When you choose discipline, you stop wasting time and start building a future that doesn't rely on temporary feelings. Stop living to impress, start living with intention. So many people lose entire years of their life trying to look successful instead of becoming fulfilled. They measure their worth through applause, approval, and validation, slowly shaping their decisions around what will be accepted rather than what feels true. Living to impress is subtle. It doesn't always look like arrogance. Sometimes it looks like silence when you should speak, agreement when your heart disagrees, and staying in places that no longer fit because leaving might disappoint someone. When your life is built on approval, you begin to perform instead of live. You choose paths that are safe, predictable, and socially acceptable, even when your soul is quietly suffocating. You delay your dreams because they don't match expectations. You edit your truth to avoid judgment. Over time, this constant self-betrayal creates exhaustion, not because life is hard, but because you are carrying a version of yourself that isn't real. Living with intention requires courage because it demands honesty. It asks you to pause and question your choices. Is this aligned with who I am becoming, or am I doing this to be liked? Intention shifts your focus from external validation to internal clarity. It doesn't mean you stop caring about people. It means you stop sacrificing yourself to keep others comfortable. Alignment brings peace that applause never can. One of the hardest truths to accept is that not everyone will understand your choices, and that's okay. Your purpose was never meant to be approved by everyone. When you choose intention, you may lose some validation, but you gain direction. You stop chasing every opinion and start standing firmly in your values. That stability saves time, energy, and emotional strength that would otherwise be wasted trying to explain yourself. Intentional living also teaches you the power of boundaries. You learn to say no without guilt, to walk away without anger, and to choose yourself without apology. Boundaries are not walls, they are filters. They protect your time and energy, which are your most valuable resources. When you stop giving them away for approval, your life becomes more focused and meaningful. You were not created to live as a reflection of other people's expectations. You were created with a unique rhythm, a unique voice, and a unique calling. The moment you stop performing and start living honestly, something powerful happens. You return to yourself. And when you live from that place, your choices align, your confidence deepens, and your life finally starts moving forward. Stop trying to impress the world. Start living in a way that feels true to you. Because the years you spend being authentic will always matter more than the years you spend being approved. Your responsibility begins the day you become aware. There comes a quiet but powerful moment in life when you can no longer say, I didn't know. That moment is awareness. Awareness of your patterns, your habits, your fears, your potential. From that day onward, responsibility begins, not as a punishment, but as an invitation to step into ownership of your life. Awareness is the line between repeating the same year again and again and finally moving forward. Before awareness, excuses feel valid. You blame circumstances, people, timing, or luck. And sometimes those things truly did hurt you. But awareness changes the rules. Once you see the pattern, you can't unsee it. Once you recognize what is holding you back, pretending it isn't there only keeps you stuck. Responsibility means accepting that while the past may explain you, it does not get to control you. Taking responsibility does not mean blaming yourself for everything that went wrong. It means deciding what you will do with what happened. It means choosing response over reaction, growth over resentment. Many people waste years waiting for closure, apologies, or rescue. Responsibility is realizing that healing does not require permission from anyone else. You become the one who shows up for your own life. Responsibility is also uncomfortable because it removes the comfort of victimhood. When you accept responsibility, you accept power, and power demands effort. It asks you to change what you tolerate, to walk away from what drains you, and to commit to what challenges you. It forces you to replace excuses with action and awareness with accountability. This is where real transformation begins. The moment you stop asking, "Why did this happen to me?" and start asking, "What am I going to do now?" your life shifts. You stop feeling helpless. You stop feeling stuck. You realize that even if you didn't choose the circumstances, you always get to choose the direction. Responsibility is not about perfection, it's about honesty. Honesty with your habits, honesty with your effort, honesty with your dreams. When you take responsibility, you stop wasting time waiting for motivation or validation. You move with intention, even when it's difficult, even when it's slow. The year you fully accept responsibility for your life is the year you reclaim your power. Because awareness without action is wasted potential. But awareness followed by responsibility becomes transformation. And that transformation is how you stop losing years and start building a life that actually feels like yours. In the end, life does not wait for permission, and neither does time. Every day you hesitate, postpone, or live for someone else's approval is a day that slips quietly into the past, never to return. The lessons of awareness, discipline, intention, and courage are only meaningful if you act on them. The moment you stop waiting for the perfect conditions, embrace your pain as a teacher, commit to consistent action, live authentically, and take full responsibility for your life, you reclaim years you never thought you could. Every choice you make today shapes the reality of tomorrow, and it is in your hands to decide whether you will continue surviving or start truly living. The truth is simple but profound. Your life is too valuable to waste another year. Excuses will always be there. Fear will always whisper, and obstacles will never fully disappear. But when you step into intentional action, guided by awareness and responsibility, every setback becomes a lesson, every struggle becomes strength, and every moment becomes an opportunity. The time to act is not someday, it is now. This year, this day, this moment can mark the beginning of a life fully lived, a life that honors your potential, your purpose, and your power.